I'm going to show you the new styling system in Buckaroo for the 0.6 release. In this tutorial, we're going to go through styling columns via the displayer, how to override columns, tooltips, cell coloring, column hiding, pinned rows, and how to add packages of styling that you can cycle through in the UI. I'm also going to show you the complete gallery of styles that are available for Buckaroo at this point. So let's jump in. This tutorial isn't to explain every bit to you. It's more to show generally here's what's possible. It's meant for you to work through it with this notebook, play through it, change things. And this is also probably a draft of this presentation. So I'm getting feedback right before I clean up the release. So let's do some imports. And we just make a data frame with an int column, a float column, and a column of all strings. We're going to be using this data frame throughout this notebook. It's simple, but there's a lot that you can play around with it. So that's what Buckaroo will display it like by default. Now let's get into starting the style. So first I'm going to show you displayer. And this controls how a column looks. So we're using column config overrides. And we're saying for float column, use displayer args with displayer of float, min digits 0, max fraction digits 3. And now this is all lined up properly. So there's a lot there. Let's jump over to the styling gallery. And I'm not sure the exact pacing of this, but I'm going to show you here is pretty much all the styles that Buckaroo is capable of. So just some defaults up there. Here's the interface for the typing straight from TypeScript. Don't worry about that. More utility functions. And first, we're going to show the object displayer. The object displayer is the most reliable displayer there is. And it will almost always show something, but it's not specific. So we can see that here we have bools, true, false, and none. Ints, it does ints, timestamps. It will also do nested values. The point is to display things like Python objects. And that's duplicated. So Boolean displayer, pretty much the same. So we have the same column displayed in two different ways, but nones are blank. String, and string has a max length parameter. So a really long float displayer, you can see the different levels of styling there. The date time displayers. There are a couple of date time displayers. So these arguments are there. I will include links to this notebook so you can read more in depth. You can do locale. The linkify displayer. So same values, but over here we have an actual link page. Not what I want it to do, but one of the things I need to work on there is those aren't underlined. Okay, where were we? Date time, link. Here's the histogram displayer. So there have been histograms in Buckaroo for a while, but now they are first-class objects, and you can configure them so that they display as the value of a cell when the proper values are sent in. You can add tooltips to columns. So here are tooltips, and this is reading the tooltip for the string column from foobar. From the int column, excuse me. Color maps are pretty exciting. So here is once again the TypeScript interface, and we plumb into that from Python. So here is this is colored based on where this ends up in histogram bins. So you can see there, if we sort by this and we scroll down, you can see all that. We also have this color not null column. So this is frequently used with errors. So we have this data frame where A is 10, 20, and 30, and we have error messages of none. A must be less than 19, it is 20, and okay. So imagine we generated this error messages column because of some filter, some much more complex filter. That displays normally, this is red. This is also frequently combined with a tooltip reading from the same value, and you would hide this. And you can also, well, no, you can't, but you should be able to just specify a list of colors. That is a bug. That is why you go through walkthroughs. It's not relevant right now. Okay, so back to styling, and we've seen displayer, we've seen tooltip config, color map config, there's another color. You can also hide columns. So remember this data frame has int column, float column, and string column. With merge rule hidden, you can hide a column. So int column isn't shown here. There are times when you want to hide a column, but use the values to do a tooltip or a color map, or possibly other things. Maybe that's just a single configuration that you want. That is possible in this way. Pinned rows. So here is how you configure pinned rows. And we can just remove dtype here, and now there's no longer dtype. Pinned rows read from summary stats, which are configured via the pluggable analysis framework. That's already explained in other bits of documentation. Another big innovation for the 0.6 release is you can cycle through different configurations. And here I'm going to show you how we can create a column styler with just the D type, and also one with summary stats. And look here, we put summary stats key. Let's run this, oops. And then when you click here, you toggle between these different layouts. Buckaroo is built to be opinionated, but it's built so you can change which opinions are applied. You might want, we've seen all these different types of ways we can style a column. I can't predict all the ways you would want, but I can let you package together your own sets of styling and let you quickly cycle through it. There probably should be a drop down. I like just clicking to cycle through. That's me. And then here are some internals, which you probably won't care about. And here's another one. So that's styling in Buckaroo.